Good morning and welcome to an incredible fact-packed weekend. Join the dots. What a week it's been. I'm recording this Friday morning, so I won't see where the market ends up on Friday night. However, even though I'm recording this Friday morning, do you know what silver is? 50-50. Yes, it is. So that massive attempt by the West to push it down to 48.50 yesterday, Thursday, failed. Buy the dip. All right, it's so simple. It's a journey. It's going all the way, no matter what the West does. The West sells, the East buys cheaper. The West sells, the East buys cheaper. The East are loving it. They're making a fortune. And the West, well, it's just losing and losing. Honestly, markets sometimes are so easy to read. Anyway, we'll see. Maybe it'll end up below 50 by the end of today on Friday. Who knows? But you know the journey. That's the key. I've got a very good link from Miles Harris, which I'll link. Okay? Miles Harris, silver is the real hedge. So just to finish off on this silver note, silver is the real hedge. Now, another thing that I said to you on my second ever short video, and I only did about a dozen short videos, just because we were learning. And I said to you that Chairman Xi would not be Chairman Xi by the end of September. Apologies. I owe you a sincere apology. It took 10 more days. Yes, Chairman Xi is reportedly in hospital today with a stroke. Now, if you watch the truth, if you want the truth from me, I told you the truth. Okay, I told you that he would not make the fourth plenum, which comes up at the end of October. I thought they would leave more time between him leaving and the fourth plenum, but it appears that if you listen to Lay's Real Talk from Thursday, okay, I've given you that contact before, that link, Lay's Real Talk from Thursday. If you listen to that, we'll talk about this more tomorrow, okay? But if you listen to that, all the signs were there, as they have been for the last 3 months with Lay. She's very, very good. She's got some incredible sources, incredible contacts, okay? And it was all set up for either a massive bloody battle or a peaceful changing of the guard. And it appears they've gone for the medical peaceful changing of the guard, which is good for the world, okay? And good for the Chinese people, which is very important because there's a lot of them. And I wish all the Chinese people well. I just don't think the CCP wish the same. Okay? So anyway, that's come out today. Again, I'll do more tomorrow because we'll know more tomorrow. Okay? This only came out this morning. All right? But go back to my second short video and I said that Xi would not be in command. I said by the end of September. I meant by the fourth plenum. But anyway, 10 days. Irrelevant. And most things are irrelevant in the scheme of things because things happening today are huge. Okay, huge, colossal. And that's why we're on the journeys we're on. And that's why they can't be disturbed. Because they are journeys of certainty. Because the issues are certain. And they can't be resolved easily. Some headlines before I go into today's main feature, which I might have to carry over to tomorrow. Some headlines, okay? Australia's Glencore have been rescued with a 395 million rescue by the government because of their copper smelter. Why? Because they're not selling as much to China. China's economy is never, ever, ever growing at 5%. Just not happening. Probably contracting at 10 maybe. We know that property's 30, we know it's gone. Finished, gone. Okay, we know the car industry has 120 EV makers. You can't have 120 vehicle manufacturers in one country. And if they do believe they're going to export them to the rest of the world, what happens? Well, look at today's figures. In the main presentation I'm going to give you, it comes from Eurodollar University. Mercedes sales down 17%. Porsche sales down. Okay, BMW sales down. Why? China and US. US as well. So China is not able to buy as many. Oh no, it's not they're not able to buy. It's of course they're buying their own cars. Rubbish. People don't switch from a BMW to a BYD. Not out of choice. Maybe out of necessity, but not out of choice. The prestige of driving around with that little badge on the front of your car. Oh, can you imagine? Dear, oh dear, oh dear. No, 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 no. They can't afford them. And now Germany is losing so many auto sales that evidently their factories are running on 50% of maximum capacity. Now, they'll never run at maximum capacity, but they're running today at 50% of maximum capacity. I'm going to come back to you with a lot more on that tomorrow. Okay? But for now, so Australia has its problem with Glencore, and this is a copper, and this is jobs, 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 isn't it? They can't afford the smelter to close. Jobs, 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 jobs. Then we've got Australia and Canada. Now Canada, and I've said these two will be in tandem because they didn't suffer in 08. Neither of them went through the GFC with a problem. Okay, they sailed through because of the Chinese connection to both countries, Canada and Australia. Massive Chinese connection. China printed a humongous amount of money in 08 to avoid being affected by the GFC. And that's why they had their property boom in 2016 to 2020, collapsed. Evergrande, Country Garden, Sunak, Shimau, Logan, Vanke, Greenland, all of them gone. And all the services companies that go with them, because they have services companies to provide services to the property company, lettings, etc. And again, they've all gone. So it's not just, it's not just the developer. Okay, it's every angle of that property market. It's 30% of the economy. I keep telling you, 30%. Okay, so Australia and Canada are now looking. Canada is certainly resembling US 07. Okay, this is a piece that came out today. Canada's housing market is resembling the US in 07. Of course it is. They didn't go through it in 07, did they? So they're having it now. Okay, it's a perfect storm for the Canadian property industry, according to the piece. I'll find for you and I'll link it, probably tomorrow. Then we go on to US housing. 17% foreclosure increase. An increase in residential foreclosures of 17%. 17, not 1.7, not 0.7, 17%. Okay, in the last 12 months. And 1 in 7 deals are falling through, which is what, 14%, just over. So 14% of deals are falling through and 17% foreclosure increase. It's booming. Everything's good. Okay, and what happened at the last Fed meeting? They discussed a possible housing collapse. So they're going to drop interest rates 0.5%. Oh, that's going to make a big difference, isn't it? These central banks are, for want of a better word, useless. Useless. Okay, and you can listen to Miles Harris, you can listen to Eurodollar, you can listen to Greg Manorino. They all say the same thing. The central bank, Alistair McLeod, the central banks are useless. Okay, they have all that money given to them to come up with answers, solutions, plans, and all they do is react after the event to something they should have seen but didn't see. They're useless. Okay, they have no use. And all they'll do now is cut rates when we're already in crisis. And we've got inflation already running at what? Shallow stats, 11%. And then their job is to make no inflation and maximum jobs. Now they're going to have high inflation and they're going to lose jobs, 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 jobs. More jobs, more jobs, more jobs, more jobs will be lost. Okay. And we have here BlackRock. Now, and here's the financial industry turning on itself. And that's always a sign that you're near the end of or the beginning of the end. Okay. BlackRock is seeking funds from Jefferies in their fund that helped First Brands, which of course now we know has, what was it? $1 billion of assets, maybe, and 50 billion of liabilities, maybe. Well, that'll be sure, because they wouldn't mention that number if it wasn't 50 billion. And 1 billion of assets, well, that's probably the bottom, or the top of the bottom. Whatever you want to say, but it's a lot less than 50. And that's one company in one quarter, now with 1 billion of assets, 50 billion of liabilities. And so BlackRock is seeking cash from the fund that funded them, which was set up by Jefferies. Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. It's flowing out the system. Okay? It's flowing out of the system. And as house prices fall and as foreclosures rise, and as cancellations increase, this all gets worse. Now, I'm being told I'm at the end of my 10 minutes, so we're not going to get onto Eurodollar University today. But it's a super piece. Look it up if you want. It's on YouTube. Look it up on the US car or on the car industry. It is a huge piece. I'll go through it tomorrow. It's mainly the German car industry. And that is, of course, the absolute bedrock of the German economy, isn't it? And we know that Germany is suffering in every respect. And it's got a war, by the way. We know it's suffering. We know Merz is totally unpopular. But then if you know, Macron, Merz. The difference between this euro-dollar crisis that's coming, or this euro bond crisis that's coming, to 2011, is that in 2011 it was quite clear, and I predicted it, I saw it, it was quite clear to predict that Italy, Spain, Ireland, okay, the periphery would have a problem. But now it's the heart, okay? Macron, Merz, Germany and France in chaos. If you look, if you join the dots, their car industry, their politics, their immigration, they have a war. You didn't have any of that in 2011, and they still had a euro bond crisis. So again, and since I've said it, I have to say, and I'm not blowing my own trumpet here, the dollar has strengthened. I said it would. Those who can't see these things make a lot of noise about them. They scream and they shout, and Bloomberg and CNBC and CC, whatever, they all report it, don't they? They all report the loud voices who tell them things that are just, here's that word, garbage. Because you have to look under the surface, find the truth, just as in China, find the truth. Find the fact that the economy is collapsing, the party elders want a new system. There was either going to be a massive fight or there was going to be a peaceful new chairman appointed. And hopefully we're heading towards that latter version, because the former would have been terrible for the world. Silver, as I say, it's 50-50 as I record this on Friday morning. It was down at 48.30, I think, yesterday. So for those people who panicked out and don't believe in the journey, please understand it's a journey. And they will try and shake you out every time they can. Okay, and the West has got no clue. The Western banks have no clue how much ammunition there is in the East waiting to buy silver. Every time they give it a dip, in comes the East. Thank you very much. Another $2. Lovely, 4% in a day. Wonderful. Can you see it? Okay, I'm over time. Thank you very much for watching. An awful lot happening. Everything is online with our forecasts. Everything is online with the way we have joined the dots for you. Please share this with other people. Let's get the truth out there. Let's get other people to at least survive through what's coming, because what's coming is going to be awful. Thank you very much.